Welcome you all to Meet Tech lectures. In today's lecture, we are going to see the egg quality part 3. In the part 1, we have seen about the external quality of the egg. In the part 2, we have seen about the internal quality of the egg. In today's lecture, I'll be talking about I'll be answering the various questions that is normally asked by the consumers. So let's get into the first question. How to identify the natural and artificial eggs? So it's very simple if you understand the structure of the egg. One is it will contain the shell membrane. So when you break open the egg, if the shell membrane, after removing the content, on the top of the broader end, you can find the shell membrane which is easily peelable. So in the artificial egg, it is very difficult to create the shell membrane. So if the shell membrane is present, it is a clear cut, it is a natural egg. And in the most of the fresh eggs, you can find the chalasa. If chalasa is present, again, it clearly indicates it is a natural egg because it is very difficult to create chalasa in the artificial egg. So you can remember the shell membrane and the chalasa. You know the use of chalasa. Chalasa hold the yolk in position, that is center of the egg. It is held by the chalasa. Why are egg yolk yellow? Does yolk color affect the nutritional value of the eggs? The color of the yolk depends upon the what type of diet that we give to the chicken or the layers. If we give the layer with more with a diet which containing more of carotene, then we get the vibrant orange in color. So the color depend upon the what type of feed that we give. For example, if you feed more of white corn, you know that maize is one of the main ingredients in the layered diet, which act as an energy source. Suppose we are giving more of white corn than the yellow corn, then we get the yolk pale in color. If the diet contains more of xanthophyll, then we get the vibrant orange in color. If it is containing more of lutein and zeaxanthin, then we get the yellow color. So basically, the color of the yolk depends upon what type of feed we give to the layer. That will affect the color of the yolk. So coming to the second question, does yolk color affect the nutritional value of the egg? Absolutely no. The yolk color will not affect the nutritional value of the egg, but generally the people prefer the yolk with bright yellow or orange in color. So there is same protein and fat, whether it's pale yellow or orange in color. Should I eat egg yolk and how much can I consume per day? See, if you are avoiding egg yolk means you are avoiding almost half of the amino acids that the egg provides. Because we always have the misconcept the yolk is only a main source of fat, so we try to avoid it, but it is not that. Out of the 7 grams of protein we get, 3 grams come from the yolk, and 4 grams come from the albumin. So yolk is also a good source of amino acids. It is also a rich source of iron. Apart from that, the egg also contains B2, B12, and vitamin D. So egg is also a good source of vitamin D. The yolk will contain vitamin D. It also contains the vitamin A and E. The natural antioxidant E is also present in the egg. Then it also a good source of omega-3 fatty acids and folates. The consumption of the yolk will also increase your good cholesterol, that is HDL cholesterol. So normally we recommend 1 to 2 eggs per day. Maximum you can go up to 3 eggs per day. So that will not affect your health. What is the health benefits of taking eggs? See, many studies shows that when you take the egg regularly, it increases your RBC count in the blood. It is also immunity booster. That is, it contains vitamin D, which help in the fast recovery from the flu and common cold. It also contains various other nutrients which improve your immunity. It also makes the skins healthier because the selenium is very much required to make your skin or to look your to make give a good look to your skin because selenium is antioxidants. So if you take around one egg per day, it can meet around 28% of your daily requirement of selenium. The egg also help to reduce your weight loss. Especially, we recommend to take egg in the along with the breakfast, so it is having more of protein and fat. So you feel the stomach is full, or it gives a better satiety. So it helps to reduce the consumption of food. So that is the advantages of taking the egg. Advantage of taking the egg. It also increase the good cholesterol that already we discussed. That is, it increase the HDL cholesterol. The study shows that around 75 to 80% of the people who consume egg regularly, in them the HDL cholesterol is increasing. It also improves the brain health because it contains the vitamins like B12, B6, and choline and folate. This is also very much important to regulate your mood and the memory. So if you take egg, it will improve your mood, and it also helps to improve your memory. So these are the advantages of taking eggs. So one egg will contain approximately 5 grams of fat, 70 kilocalories of energy, and 6 grams of protein. So it also we are seeing it's a good source of vitamin A, D, E, folate, iron, zinc, choline. Eating egg is a good for your bones because bone, teeth, skin, and eyes. Is it safe? Is it safe to eat the raw eggs? Absolutely, it is not safe to eat the raw eggs because the raw eggs sometimes contain the salmonella. So salmonella, there's trans-ovarian transmission can take place. So sometimes it may contain the salmonella. So if you take that, there's a chance for food poisoning. Another is the nutrients absorption decreases. Generally, people feel that if you take raw egg, especially the athletics and the people who go for the workouts, will take the raw eggs thinking that it has better nutrient. No, nutrient it actually, if you take the raw egg, the nutrient absorption decreases. If you take the cooked eggs, it will absorption of the nutrients is better. Another problem is it reduces the digestibility. If you take the raw eggs, it reduces the digestibility. And there is also anti-nutritional factor called as avidin. This avidin will binds with the biotin. So the availability of the vitamin B7 will decrease in your body if you take raw eggs. So it is not advisable to take raw eggs. Sometimes when I peel hard boiled egg, the shell comes off easily. Other times it is hard to remove the shell. It is because by nature the protein are very sticky. In the egg, when the pH is acidic, the sticky nature of the egg is smooth. When you boil the egg, what happens is the albumin will go and stick with the shell membrane and the shell. So when you peel it out, you find it difficult to separate the shell from the egg. So what is the solution? You can add the soda bicarb to the boiling water. So that will help to reduce this problem. And this is mainly seen in the fresh egg because in the fresh egg it is more acidic. So this sticking property is more. So that is the problem we find. So another thing is immediately after boiling the eggs, put it in a cold water. So that will also help to reduce this problem. Next question is, which are better, brown or white shelled eggs? If you take nutritionally, there is no difference between the white shelled egg and the brown shelled eggs. In both the eggs, the nutritional content is same, is almost same. The nutritional content of the egg varies depending upon the what type of diet they take. So normally the white earlobes hen with white plumage or the feathers will lay white egg. The red earlobes hen with colored plumages or the feathers will lay the brown shelled egg. So there is no logic in paying high price for the brown shelled eggs. Normally the people have the misconcept the brown shelled egg is more nutritious. Next question is, the stringy white piece in the egg are sperm. Is this true? Is it safe to eat them? So the consumer mean this one is nothing but the chalaza, which help to hold the yolk in position. It's absolutely safe to eat this egg. It is not the sperm. Suppose you don't take the fertile egg, means don't think this is a sperm. It is absolutely safe and it is an infertile egg. Art cooked some eggs. When I peeled them, there was a dark green color on the egg yolk. What caused that? Are they safe to eat? The green color that we find on the surface of the yolk in the hard boiled egg is due to the compound ferrous sulfate. How the ferrous sulfate is formed? Because hydrogen sulfide will be formed during the boiling of the egg. When you boil it out, what happens is the sulfur from the sulfur containing amino acids will react with the hydrogen to form hydrogen sulfide. This is a gas. So when you boil it, what happens is the coagulations of the protein take place from outside to inside, that is from ear to ear. So the gas is formed, the hydrogen sulfide gas is formed. Due to the coagulations of the protein, what happens? The solubility decreases and it starts moving towards the yolk. Once it reaches the yolk, you know that yolk is a good source of iron. So it reacts with the iron to form the ferrous sulfate. This ferrous sulfate give the green color to the yolk. It is absolutely safe to eat this egg. You can reduce this green color formation by cooling the egg immediately after the boiling of the egg. I am running a catering business. How to differentiate hard boiled and raw eggs? See, normally, when we boil the eggs, the excess egg that comes, again we put it in the refrigerator along with the raw eggs. And next time when we take the eggs, we don't know which is a boiled egg and which is a raw egg. So how to differentiate? That is the question that is put forth here. So just keep the egg on a hard surface with flat end as shown here. Then spin the egg in the clockwise directions or anti-clockwise directions. Spin the egg very fast. Then use your index fingers and press at the center of the rotating egg. Normally, the boiled eggs will stop immediately or it shows a very smooth spinning motions. But in the case of raw egg, this will not stop easily and it causes wobble rotations. It will be showing a wobble rotations. The reason is that in the boiled egg, the proteins and the yolks are all coagulated. So it has a proper center of gravity, or so the proper center of gravity will be there. Here it is liquid form, so it will get wobbling. When I broke open a fresh egg from the grocery store, the egg was green. What was wrong with it? Or such egg safe to eat. See, it again depends upon the diet that we give. If the diet is containing of vitamin B2 in more, it can give a green color. Another is when you feed more of cottonseed meal. When you feed the cottonseed meal in the chicken diet, again you can there's a chance for getting the green color. Nowadays, uh, due to the high cost of the soya protein, they are feeding the cottonseed meal after removing the gossypul, and they are feeding to the diet, especially in Maharashtra, in such places where the cottonseed meal is available in plenty. So they are feeding that one. So in that case also we can get this green color. And another thing is when bird feed on the shepherd purse weed. This is a weed that is called as a shepherd purse weed, which we normally find. If the birds go and feed on this weed, again you can get this type of green color yolk. And some producers, what they do is they to incorporate a particular color in the yolk, they'll be feeding the fat soluble dye in the chicken diet or in the layer diet. So that dye will give a color to the yolk. The next question is that why sometimes we get yolkless egg? Here you can see there is no yolk present. The reason is that sometimes a bit of tissue may be slogged off or slugged out of the oviduct, and this oviduct thinks that it is a yolk. So as a normal things, this this tissue stimulates the secreting glands of the oviduct, and we get the yolk. We get an egg without yolk. So that is called as a yolkless egg. Can we freeze the shelled eggs and hard boiled eggs? If you freeze it, there is a chance for cracking of the shell because the water inside the egg during freezing will expand, and that can lead to crack of the shell. Another thing is that the yolk will become thick and syrupy. It will lose the consistency and it will be thick and syrupy, and it will not blend properly with the albumin and other ingredients that we add during the various products that we make. So that is the problem with this freezing of the yolk. Then what is about freezing of the hard boiled eggs? So hard boiled eggs, once you boil it out, the excess egg that comes, if you keep it in the freezer, after long days, it will give a bitter taste to the egg. So again, it is not advisable to freeze the hard boiled egg also. How to identify fertile eggs? So initially in the day 1 or day 2, we can find there's a small uh, red spot, which is very prominent. It shows the embryo developments. From the third days onwards, we can see these veins. It's called as a spider veins. We can see, and this is the eye of the embryo. So we can see as the days goes, you can see these different stages of the egg. So this shows it is a fertile egg. Is your egg is of good quality? How will identify it? So how to know whether the vendor has given you the fresh egg or the old egg? So one way is that take the egg, break it on the flat surface, then absorb the broken eggs. If it is an old egg, means the yolk will not be round. It will spread out easily. The albumin is not thick. So we know there is a thick albumin and thin albumins, but as the age increases, the albumin thins. So in the old eggs, the thick albumin will not be thick, rather it will be thin. The albumin should be thick and not flowing in the fresh egg. So here you can see the albumin is thick, yolk is round. If the white is thin, running and easily dissolves with the egg yolk, it's a older egg. Another test that we can do without breaking the egg is the float test. So the fresh egg, if you put the egg in take a beaker filled with water and put the egg, the fresh egg will lie with the flat surface. So as the age increases or the egg is become old, this will keep on rising because of the formation of the air sac. Air sac became larger and larger, so it will be slowly lifting. So you can see here it is lifted. So here the fresh egg lay on its sides. So fresh egg will lay on its sides. Flat end will rise slightly. So this is the sharpy end or the pointy end, and this is the flat end. So this will slowly start rising as the age increases or in the older eggs. So when it became more old, it will rise to the top, and you can see it will appear like this. So normally the round end will be on the top and the pointy end will be on the bottom. So this is another way we can test the egg. How to collect the egg in the farm level. So normally don't use the egg for collecting egg. Don't use the metal boxes or the buckets. Use the filler flats, especially made up of plastics, which is light in weight, easy to wash. So how many times we have to collect the eggs? Normally, it is recommended to collect uh, 4 times per day, so that breakage of the egg will be less. The soiling of the egg will also be less, because most 40% of the egg is laid before 8 a.m. So make it sure that you collect at 8 or after 8 or 8:30. You are between 8 and 8:30. Try to collect the egg because 40% of the egg is laid during that time. 30% of the egg is laid between 8 to 11 a.m. and 80% of the egg is laid between 11 and 1 p.m. and 12% of the egg is laid between 1 and 4 p.m. So the above varies depending upon the light system that is followed. So you know that for laying of the egg, there should be optimum light. So it all depends upon the how much light we give. So after collecting, if the soiling is more, then go for washing, which we had discussed in the last classes. Then hold the in the room temperature, which is maintained around 13 degrees centigrade for around 24 hours to 36 hours. Hold in that holding rooms. Then you shift to the chiller room. How to store egg for long term? The best method or the easiest method that is followed in the industrial system is that storing at a low temperature. So what's the temperature? 0 degrees centigrade. What's the humidity? It should be maintained around 80 to 90%. If humidity is less than 70%, the moisture loss will be more. So it will affect that, or it will deteriorate the quality of the egg. If it is more than 90%, there's a chance for fungal or mold to growth. So the optimum is 80 to 90. What is the storage life? We can get storage life of 6 to 8 months if we properly maintain the temperature and relative humidity. If you want to extend the life more, you can do the oil sealing, plus you can keep it in the cold storage. That will further increase the shelf life to around 1 year. So whenever possible, you you fume fungicide can be applied, like sodium pentachlorophenol, 0.8 to 0.9% strength. You can use it. So fumigate it so that the fungal growth or the mold growth can be prevented. What are the precautions that you have to follow in the cold room is that do not store with onion or any food material that produce strong odors, because egg will contain fat and this fat will absorb that odor. Periodic checking of the egg is required. Proper temperature and humidity should be maintained. And remember that once the egg is taken out for marketing, it should not be brought back and stored again in the same cold room. It is because it can lead to cross contaminations. How to test the egg quality by instruments? Yeah, this is the latest technology that we can use for testing the internal qualities of the egg, like albumin height, hog unit, shell breaking strength, deformations, Viterian membrane strength. So you can use the texture profile analyzer, and there's a special probes are available to test this. You can use that probes and test the quality of the egg. So within 4 to 5 minutes, we can measure around 10 to 14 quality parameters of the egg. You can also use this yolk color measurement can be done with a standard DSM yolk color fan. So thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can contact in this number or you can send me the mail. So I will reply to that. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless you all.